You're welcome back to the Business Enterprise Programme. I'm Colin Colgan, and my guests tonight are the traders of Bridge Street, and we're chatting about their festival that they're having next week, 4th of July, and it's let me get the wording correctly, it's an Independence Day festival celebrating independence from austerity and recession, and dare we all say to that. And I'm joined by Andrew Pearce of J&B Hope, Gabrielle Cadden of The Well, and Leona Gallagher of the Vincent de Paul shop. We're just chatting about some of the shops that were there, and we were running down through them just before the ad break. What other sort of in other words, what is going to draw people back to Bridge Street after they have come down next week and saying what a wonderful place it is, how much fun they've had? And I'm just thinking of, again, as you can tell by the accent, I'm not a Cavan native, but again, I'm thinking of the likes of Grafton Street. Okay, that's the major trading thoroughfare, but off that you have the likes of the Paris Court Centre, which is kind of an aristocrat. You have lots of smaller streets, and they all have kind of individual little kind of niches that kind of draws people down them little streets. And is that what we're trying to turn Bridge Street into?
There's a picture on some of when they were advertising, I guess, at the beginning of the flaw, but the council itself had put these things up about Breffni. And there was a picture, you'd come into town, and it showed a couple walking down the street. And it had the picture kind of gives you that feel, that lovely sort of feel, and it is that boutique feel. And that's Bridge Street. Yeah. And that's what we want to get people to experience. So, I mean, by doing the shops, and some of the shops are getting done up and repainted, and you got the cobblestones, you got the lights, you got the flower
And of course,
baskets.
anyone who wants to know what Bridge Street is looking at can just look behind you at the moment. I don't know if you look at just a technical curtain, but anyone looking at you on the TV at the moment now will see shops and the images. I'll have to say some very, very well presented looking shops. So that in itself. So you're trying to make it a shopping experience.
Yeah, well, you see, the traders in Bridge Street are good in the sense they keep their premises, they keep the front of their premises well cleaned up, painted, everything. So if you come down the street and you see shabby looking premises, well, you don't really want to come back.
Absolutely, and again, in my day job I do a fair amount of travelling, and I go through some country towns, and every second shop is closed down, and the shops in between that are open are more or less waiting to be closed down themselves. Yeah. So what happens, if you're looking to buy something, you're not going to stop in that town. Now obviously Cavan is slightly bigger than that, but obviously the same premise works on streets. Yeah. If you go down the street and there's a couple of derelict buildings, you're not going to go down there, and then you're not going down to buy. It has the knock-on effect that other businesses close down because you didn't go down, so it's a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. Leona, the likes of the Vincent de Paul shop, is there many other charity shops in the town? I nearly said in Dublin. I'm sorry, I forgot my roots there for a second.
There are two other charity shops at the moment, and there's one which is just around the corner from us as well. I'm sure they're all feeling the strain as well.
But the fact that you're a charity shop, people might kind of be hunt out you, and you could nearly be a central draw for the rest of the street. They're coming down and say, well, what else is available,
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the idea of the festival is to remind people, what shops are available, and we are quite far down on Bridge Street as well, so to remind people that we are there and what we have to offer. As well as the other shops.
This festival is Thursday, Friday, so Friday night at about 11 o'clock, it'll be over. What's next on the agenda? Okay, obviously we'll analyse, see how good we did, and we say, right, because obviously just having one event is kind of the equivalent of taking out an ad in a newspaper, one ad, and then expecting that to work for the year. It has to kind of be serious and stuff like that. Now, what else have we planned? Is it going to be ongoing to get people down the street?
I think so. Well, it depends on how it goes, but
Anyway, we kind of jump very quickly to what was happening. What is going to happen now next Thursday and Friday?
All right, we said we have bands.
If it was this time last week, the week before, you could have gotten Obama to come. Sure, you have connection. You all know each other over there. He would have come down and opened it up.
Yeah, well, he said Ireland is the new chic, right? And Bridge Street could be the chic of the chic. Yeah. As I said, we have music, we have food, and we have entertainment, we have specials and deals and things like that. Some of the bands that we have, Twisted Ninja, Idle Hum. What was the other one I was trying to think of? I can never. Radioactive Grandma's coming out. We have traditional music, we have drama. We have a stage set up at the top of it, right?
Fantastic.
And one of the big highlights, of course, is going to be the fashion show, where a lot of the boutiques and the clothing shops, the hairdressers, the salons, the eyeglass center, stuff like that, are all going to get to put their stuff on display, right?
And it's all outdoor.
It's all outdoor on the street, red carpet. The owner's got that organised for us.
I have the weather sorted as well, yes.
There will be child plagues outside back doors, up and down the length of Bridge Street.
Yes, exactly. Well, all going well. We're going to have an outdoor fashion show. With all the different shops on the street. Myself, and there's a new shop actually, Mary Ann's Vintage Boutique. So we're just going to show a different take on. I don't want to give too much away.
No. Everyone will be queuing up now, because if you knew what it was, now they'd be intrigued to go.
But just to let people know, what the likes of second-hand shops do have on offer, and Mary Ann's as well, the vintage shop. Yeah.
And far be it from us to give another media outlet some advertising, but you have iRadio appearing.
That's right. They're going to be down working the street for 4 hours. They'll have all their gifts and swags and things like that, and there'll be feeds back to iRadio from the street. So it'll be good opportunity for some of the musicians and bands to maybe get a bit of airtime as well, and a bit of recognition. And certainly all the shops, people coming in, they'll be coming up and down and talking to people, and really working very hard to put Bridge Street's best foot forward. So looking forward to that. iRadio, do they have a bus? A bus?
No, what is it? A roadcaster, sorry, a bus. Sorry. In another lifestyle, we did do it in a converted bus, so I got kind of, do they have a roadcaster? Or,
they have a van.
Or is it, will they be operating in the shop window? What way is it?
They have a van, and they have a team of 4, and most of their work is going to be on the street. We do have one of the shops on the street. Actually, it's one of the Ethel Brady. She has the physiotherapy there. It's an old shop front. She's going to open that, so they have the windows they can see on to the street. Yeah. Right. And we're also hoping that we can get some of the local broadcasters like Cavan TV, right, and the Cavan Radio, stuff like that, to come on down. And
I'm sure if Cavan TV was there, at least people would be able to see what Bridge Street is like.
Yeah, exactly.
What time is iRadio coming on? 11 a.m. Who's that there? Who's on 11? Anyway, well, I'm sure he's excellent descriptive qualities, but he won't be able to describe Bridge Street and all its finery. You would need a kind of a television camera kind of to get a pictures. A picture takes 1,000 words, and we might make models out of some of the people that are in the. They start off doing a quick fashion show and they end up.
Yes. As you know now, that's in the models. It's not confined to females. There's males as well. So you're eligible.
Well, of course, one of my claim to fame is a couple of years ago I won the Bailborough Tony Rose contest. So I could actually go in both classes.
Could be very helpful, that.
It's that type of street, is it? Say no more. So trading hours probably ends at 4, 5, 6 in the afternoon, but obviously the entertainment is going on for the evening. So there's a huge social event into this as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it is about the street and about what's going on in the street. So there will be street trading that day. I imagine the shops will be open as long as there's a reason to be open. I mean, there are no set hours, right? So it's about the street. So so everybody will be doing as much as they can.
Could it be ever so slightly irony with so much going on in the street? It will be packed. And although the street will be packed, people actually may not come in and shop. So when you do the till at the end of the Thursday and Friday, it actually may have cost you money.
Yeah.
Not really. No.
Yeah, I mean, there's always that chance, right? But again, once it gets people down on the street, it's our job as the traders on the street to make sure that they understand who we are and what we're doing. And then we're all going to be working at that. So like I said, there'll be street trading. So the street trading things on the street to get people to come in the doors and look and see what's on the inside as well.
Yeah.
So
They may not spend on the first day, but the seed
Yeah.
is set. You know?
Did Bridge Street get any kickback or any boost when the flower was in town?
Brilliant.
Did it?
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant.
So damn you, Derry, basically.
Well, we can't complain. We've had it for 3 years, you know.
Would that
Enjoyed it.
was the fact that kind of I know there's a couple of smaller events to replace it. No, because that can be good, because if you have a flan that goes over 2 weeks and you have a huge spike in your income for those 2 weeks,
Yeah.
but if a couple of smaller events spread out might have been more
Sometimes it's nearly
beneficial.
better,
But
yeah.
there's nothing really major to bring the people in to the town.
Well, they're talking about having the gathering this year.
Well, I know, and I doubt they will, but I think everywhere is having a gathering.
Yeah, it certainly won't be a patch on what the flower was. It certainly wouldn't be anything like that, because nothing will compare to the flower. The flower was just,
Yeah.
it's the thing, and that's nothing will ever take away from that, you know.
yeah, it was a great week for us last year
It
as
was,
well.
yeah.
It was fantastic. Part of it was because the street was closed off and it was pedestrianized, you know, for the last few days, and there was
Yeah.
a kind of a main thoroughfare entry. So a lot of
Yeah.
people were walking from a lot of different areas and coming up
Yeah.
Bridge Street. So that was very good for us.
Now, apart from appearing on programs like this, how do people find out what's happening on Bridge Street next week?
Well-
You sound like you have a fantastic product.
Yeah.
But how do you get the message out there? Is it social media? Is it ads in the South? Is it people standing there dressed up as a bridge? Yeah, Bridge Street dressed as a bridge. Hey, you never tell them that one.
There's an idea.
It could go a long time before we might do it. But
By the way, why is it called Bridge Street? Is there a bridge there?
There is.
Is there?
Yeah.
I never noticed it.
No. You would have to take a walk down. Bridge.
Walking, yeah, I said that.
that's
And
the
I'll tell
point.
you what we'll do even better. We'll give you a guided tour.
But anyway, how is the message getting out there?
We're working on it on a number of different ways. One with the radio advertising. We are working with the South. We have a kind of advanced advertising this week, and then more things next. A big spread next week, starting of course on the Wednesday. That has a feature on it and talking about the street, and there's been a couple articles in it already, kind of leading up to it.
Right.
And then we have social media. We have Cavan Living, and they're working social media for us, trying to get things out on Twitter, on Facebook, and things like that.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, we'll start the posters and things like that will be up here over the next week as well. So part of it was because it's kind of it's coming on us real quick, and we started, I suppose, kind of late. If it really works for us, we'll have to start a little bit earlier next week. Next year.
Any big names opening it?
Well, we
I bet you looked at each other and said, this is quiet.
it's kind of a surprise.
Yeah,
isn't it?
hopefully, yeah. So
Very well known throughout the world.
Just in the turkey.
No, don't want that for that. No, we're not just giving anything away on that yet, but it's interesting.
So if basically you want to find out who's opening, we have to be
You
there.
just have to come on
be
there.
Well, that's it. As I said, it's happening next Thursday and next Friday on Bridge Street. And as I said, it is the Bridge Street Festival, and it is celebrating independence from austerity and recession. And probably by the time it comes on, which is about in 8 days' time, we'll have another 8 days of news from the Independent about the Anglo tapes. So it'll really give us all a lift. But in the meantime, may I wish you all the very best, and thank you all for coming in. Andrew Pearce of J&B Hope, Gabrielle Cadden of The Well, and Leona Galligan of the Vincent de Paul Shop. The Vincent de Paul Shop, or just Vincent's? Vincent. Okay, that's it for me, Colm Colgan. I want to thank the team behind me, Brian Daly, Executive Producer, David Van Stanton, Director, and Charlie on the desk. Do tune in next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.